start the recording.
Message that Mr. Matlala got from the app social media X, on the 3rd of January, and then screen grabbed it and forwarded it to Mokotsi. The first paragraph suggesting that it's information received regarding the political killings task team from one of their former investigators at the task team. It also talks about crime intelligence operating as a threat force unit, which is why General Khumalo is heading both units, crime intelligence and the political killings task team. He appointed his brothers, families, and friends as investigators and bodyguards for him and Lushaba. The shortened version of the response, commissioners, will be that is what we experienced soon after the disbandment letter was circulated, because between the first and the second, when the letter was circulating on the social media before its official communication channels within SAPS, soon after that, then we saw lots of misinformation that was all over the social media space, talking to either the political killings task team or the General Khumalo and others. But the misinformation will always have either the political killings task team or General Khumalo.
Good morning, masterminds. Good morning. Madlanga 2.0. We are going here. We are now here. We are going to assess the information that was left in the Madlanga Commission. I didn't follow the proceedings yesterday. And Jab sent me a video this morning, and my name has been mentioned there in this video there on the TikTok streets. So Jabs will come and he will explain to us what is that message or what is that video about and why am my name being mentioned inside Phakathi Madlanga Commission. Good morning, Jabs.
Good morning, Sis Pat, real mastermind. So it looks like now the cartel is going to move to big 5 to a big 6. Or we know behind every big cartel, there's always a strong woman behind it.
A mastermind. Don't forget to say a mastermind. Behind every cartel is a mastermind.
Yes.
You know what is ironic? It's ironic because I was also named as the mastermind in the Senzo Miwa case. Seems like I'm also the mastermind here. Hi, I'm so powerful.
No, that is why one of Mam Tembu has called these terms of reference. So because she dragged me on this so that we can pull out the terms of reference, and I will be the evidence leader. Remember, you have no rights here, Miss Marshall.
No, I don't.
There are no rights here.
I will only,
and there are no filters here.
I will only answer the question that are put to me.
Yes. And there are no filters here.
No filters. No.
And you can name drop. We're not going to give them right to respond.
No, we don't. We cannot give them right to respond because they also didn't give us right to respond.
Okay.
They also didn't give us the right to respond, so we can also not give them the right to respond.
Yes, just for people so that they can see the caption. I think they've read around what the caption is.
Okay.
There is
read in the caption is Madlanga Commission. This was posted by a guy who called himself Official Minister on TikTok. He's part of the Team State in the Senzo Miwa case. He's actually the Minister of Team State in the Senzo Miwa case. So what he posted here is Madlanga Commission. There's this caption: the misinformation General Khumalo referred, sent by Kat Matlala to Brown Mokgotsi, was originally posted by Patricia Mashali on 3 January 2024. Ex-PKTT Bonginkosi Dlamini, a convicted criminal who attempted to intimidate a Section 204 witness, is mentioned as a source too. There's his caption. Then in the caption, he posted, in his video, he posted a screenshot of a Twitter post that I did on 3 January 2024. Listen to the date.
Wait, Suspect. Are you not, is it your account, not a peace office?
No, my account has my name on. I'm not AKA what everyone knows my account. My account has my name on it. My account, okay. Everyone, my Facebook account, my Twitter account, my TikTok account, I'm not hiding behind a false name because I'm not afraid to say whatever I want. Someone who's hiding behind a false name, like these official ministers, is the ones who are usually coming up with this gossip stories. If I post something, everyone will see there's me who posted there. It's my name.
All right. No. Suspect, in his defense here, because we are fair, he took what General Khumalo said in the commission. He took the evidence from General Khumalo. He then used his own things to match it with your post that you posted on it in January 2024.
Yes.
And he matched your post. He says that your post is the same post that Kat Matlala sent to Brown. Yes. So now we just take us back.
Okay.
But yes, when you take us back, I know you may have not read the you may have not listened to the full.
I didn't even listen to that. Okay. He's talking about I just listened to the clip that you sent me. What General Khumalo said is shortly after the political killing task team was disbanded, this misinformation was spread on social media. Now, when did a letter come out for the political killing task team to be disbanded? It was on the 31st of December, 2024.
Yes.
So that is what General Khumalo is saying after, meaning it was from the 31st of December 2024. Now what?
Let's hold it there.
Okay.
Let's hold it there, Suspect. Now tell me, between January 2024 up until December 2024, did you have any conversation with a chief of staff of Minister Mchunu or the legal advisor, Advocate Vusi Pikoli?
Yes, I did. I sent information to the chief of staff, and he referred me to the legal advisor, who is Advocate Vusi Pikoli. And I sent that information to Advocate Vusi Pikoli in the office of the minister. That is the only time I communicated with them, when I sent that information to the office of the minister. Masterminds, it seems like Njabs is struggling with network, and it's absolutely crucial for him to be here so that we can just dissect official ministers' gossip there on the TikTok streets, where he now is suggesting that I was the one who sent, or the post of that I shared on social media is the post that have been forwarded to Brown Mokgotsi either from 31 December up until, I didn't really listen to the dates, but that Dumisani Khumalo, but now what official minister is doing here, he messed up his information. He made, because he was in a hurry to go and discredit me. He's always discrediting me. You can go and look there on TikTok. The guy is always discrediting me. So you are back in Jabs. I was explaining to Masterminds that yes, I communicating with the chief of staff, and he referred me to the legal advisor, and I shared the information with the legal advisor. That was in 2024.
All right. Thank you for that, Clarence, because it seems as if the two of you and Brown, were communicating with the minister's advisor during that time. Now, do you know Brown, Mokgotsi?
I don't know Brown. I've never met Brown in my life before. I also only saw Brown on TV.
Yes, but then there is Brown that appeared on your chat train, so that we don't want you to be quoted in saying you don't know, and then Brown comes and says like
so nobody knows me now. I'm not even worried that Brown will come and say, if Brown say he knows me and I communicated with Brown. Remember, there's those section 205s where they can take your phone and they can go, like Dumisani Khumalo is now there with WhatsApp messages. I have been through that process before. Remember with the case of Isia, where my phone was taken and when they printed all my messages with everyone. So I will happily give the commission of whoever else my phone to, and Jabs, I believe if I'm going to give my phone to the commission, they must, my number must be there for everyone. Remember, this is a court case. We cannot rely on the POPI Act and say people's numbers must not be shown on the WhatsApp messages. Because we saw in the Senzo Miwa case that people's numbers are being called, because the Madlanga Commission is not just some people who decided they are going to call people to. This is actually like a court. It is a court. There's judges in that court, and evidence are being led in court. So whenever I'm being implicated by whatever, I would request the commission to show my number in the messages and not hide my number, so that everyone can go and confirm whether that's indeed my number, who communicated with whoever. If there's an allegation that I communicated with Brown Mokgotsi, I would want the commission to show my number in the messages with Brown Mokgotsi, because I don't trust just screenshot of messages where no numbers are being shown.
No, it sounds like you are being defensive now. We don't know you as being like that. Yeah, just take us through now.
I just wanted to be transparent. That's all. It's not being defensive. If we have to expose everything, let's be transparent.
No, we believe you. Just take us through now the clip, evidence by General Kuman. Because center of this thing, please, I'm not going to interrupt you, because I want real masterminds to get this thing. But I want you to start from the process of the capturing of the arrest of this person up until then. Yeah. So, yes.
And Jabs, there's another piece of information that I want to share with you. I didn't just share this information with the chief of staff of the minister and with a legal advisor of the minister. People, I want to share the information here, but it seems like Njabs is busy. Not busy, he's been interrupted. There is a problem with his network. But I said that if we are going to be, and Njabs already told me I must not be afraid to drop names. Now, since names have been dropped in that commission, I'm now going to send screenshots of Njabs to show him that I was not selective in sharing this information. I share this information with everyone that I thought would be able to investigate and follow up this information. So now on 16 October 2024, you see I'm scrolling through my phone. 16 October 2024, I also shared this information with General Mkhwanazi. That was exactly the same period when I shared this information with a chief of staff of the minister and with a legal advisor of the minister. I also shared this information with General Mkhwanazi, and I still have the evidence on my phone that I shared this information with General Mkhwanazi. Now, what official minister did that? Because when Sindiso Magaka was killed, the hitman was arrested in 2017, the one who has now been convicted. Dumisani Khumalo was appointed as the head of the political killing task team in 2018. Hitman was arrested in 2017. Dumisani Khumalo was appointed in 2018. Now, Sergeant Anthony Bongikosi Kamini was investigating this case of Sindiso Magaka. And during the course of his investigation, the hitman revealed information to him to say that there's a statement. I'm not just talking about just information. There's an affidavit. And based on that affidavit, the hitman was convicted. So the hitman gave him an affidavit to say that I was part of the conspiracy to kill Sindiso Magaka. I pulled the trigger, but there were 3 of us. I was not alone. There were 3 of us. 2 police officers from crime intelligence assisted us. They even went a step further, those 2 police officers. He named them in his statement. Those 2 police officers even went a step further. They bought the firearm that we used to shoot Sindiso Magaka, that I used to shoot Sindiso Magaka. And they also bought the vehicle, the getaway vehicle, with money from the Secret Service account. Besides that, we were also paid with money from the Secret Service account. And he referred Officer Dlamini to the other accused. And then he said to Officer Dlamini, I'm guilty of this crime. I want to confess. I want to plead guilty so that I can start serving my term for this crime that I committed. Officer Dlamini compiled his report with all the evidence. He goes with his report to the prosecutor and he tells the prosecutor, this is my report and this is what I found during my investigation. The hitman is prepared to testify. He is prepared to confess. He is prepared to expose the mastermind. Indeed, even in that statement, the hitman exposed the mastermind. Now, Officer Dlamini tells the prosecutor, who is Prosecutor Xaba, I need to go and arrest all these people based on the evidence that I got from the including the police officers who are complicit in this crime. You know what happened? You know what happened? Dlamini are being immediately withdrawn from this case by Lieutenant General Kumisani Khumalo. Khumalo went as far as telling Dlamini that he spoke to Cele. Remember, Khumalo said that he never received an instruction from Cele. That's what he told the commissioners. Khumalo tells Dlamini that Cele said that it's going to be a huge embarrassment if those crime intelligence officers is going to be arrested. Cele took the report that Dlamini gave to Khumalo and classified the report. With all the information and evidence in that report, the names that the hitman gave to Dlamini, with all that evidence, suddenly Dlamini are now being charged with defeating the ends of justice in 2020. And he have been kept in jail. They even boast, we have been convicted. And yes, he have been convicted on false charges, but he's appealing his conviction because that case is now in the High Court. Because the magistrate Khumalo, Nada Khumalo, who convicted him with non-existent case law. Hence, they challenged the conviction in the High Court. They are awaiting judgment from the High Court relating to the conviction. Now, the hitmen have been, Dlamini is now in jail. Where the hitman was kept in Kokstad. When we intervened in the issue of the hitman, because when the hitman reached out to me, I got a message from someone to say, the hitman in the Sensiso Makaka case are requesting from assistance from you because he's been in detention since 2018. Khumalo, Xaba, and his lawyer are refusing to allow him to confess to such a point that Kaba appointed a lawyer for the hitman. And that lawyer are being paid with money from the Secret Service account by Khumalo. There's proof. So if I say something, I don't gossip. I don't gossip. As a result of the cry of the hitman to say, Patricia Mashali, I saw you exposing the issue of Sindiso Makaka on social media. I started with this issue of Sindiso Makaka when Becky Cele was still the minister. I started posted on 3 January 2024. Not like official minister is trying now to say there that after the political killing test received the letter to this ban. That's only when I share information with Brown Mokgotsi. I don't share information with people privately. I go to social media when I want to share information. So after the hitman asked for help, I reached out to Professor Mary Dias and said, Professor, the hitman wants to confess, but his lawyer doesn't want him to confess. You know what Professor Mary Dias did? She reached out to legal aid and asked legal aid whether they will be able to assist the hitman just for the purpose of the confession. Legal aid also delayed. And then I reached out to Fadil. And then Fadil organized a lawyer. We even have the letter that was sent to the lawyer to appoint him as the lawyer of the hitman. And after that lawyer was appointed, the hitman was transferred from Kokstad to Westwell. There is where he also called Fadil Adams to say, I want to give you a statement before something happened to me in this prison because there were already 2 attempts to poison me. Fadil Adams went to Westwell with a police officer from Durban police station. They went to Westwell prison officially with a police officer who took the statement of the hitman. And that statement was handed over to the lawyer who then presented the hitman in his recent court case where he made a confession, where he pleaded guilty, and where he was convicted. Only after that was the municipal manager arrested again, because he was released in 2017. The municipal manager is now on trial on court because of our efforts. Now the Dumisani Khumalo is there in court trying to credit himself for the conviction of the hitman who killed Sindiso Makaka. He was not part of that. He was not part of that. They kept him in detention for 7 years. They refused him. There are still people who are going to come forward. There are still people who are going, yeah, we are not gossip here with WhatsApp messages. As I'm saying, if you are going to show someone's history of someone's messages, you must also be bold and brave and show the number of that person, because it should not be a secret. It's not classified information. If people committed crimes, why should you protect their numbers? If I committed a crime, don't protect my name, don't protect my number. I don't want you to protect my name or my number. If there's a court case, you must display everything. Now my questions again to Khumalo is, I had his sick today. It doesn't feel well. It was very fresh yesterday. It doesn't feel well today. My questions again to Khumalo is, why was the 2 police officers who were part of the murder of Sindiso Matraka never arrested because you know them? Why did you pay the lawyer of the hitman from the Secret Service account? People say you only joined a crime intelligence in 2022. Yes, you did. Then you took over all the operations. When I started to report these things, you, Khumalo, you, in January of 2025, you wanted to arrest me and Fadil Erms. If you wanted justice in the Sindiso Matraka case, why did you want to arrest us for exposing this information publicly? Soon after I published about the Sindiso Matraka hitman and about the fact that a lot of information have been kept from the public, you send the tracking and tracing team after me. I reported it. I reported the fact that you, Dumisani Khumalo, send the tracking and tracing team after me because you wanted to arrest me. Why did you not want the truth to come out if it's all about the truth? Why did you cover up certain truths and you only expose certain truths? To official Minister of State, let me also ask you, since you want to discredit me, why did you not say anything when I exposed the issue of Shadrack Sibiya? Why did you not make videos about it? When I, Patricia Mashale, exposed Shadrack Sibiya, why didn't you not say anything? Why did you not make videos when I won the High Court case against Shadrack Sibiya? Because you are selective. I'm not going to accuse people to say, they have received monies, they are being paid, they are agents, they are what. No, it's not my style. I don't accuse people of such things. All I'm saying is, if you are going to attack me, don't attack my person. Attack the evidence that I'm presenting. Stop with the insults. I don't insult people. I am more intellectually intelligent than to just because I don't agree with someone, then I'm going to insult that person. I don't insult people. I come with my evidence, and if you feel you don't agree with my evidence, attack the evidence and you bring your own evidence forward. Fortunately now, I'm being forced by official minister to be in that Madlanga commission. Official minister now officially forced me inside Pagati, the Madlanga commission. Doesn't end with the people who made the allegations. They forgot that in a court of law, anyone can accuse you of anything. But you have the right to go and challenge the allegations against you. There's how the law works. So let them make the allegations, implicate us wherever they want to implicate us. We will get our chance to go and challenge the allegations. And if people believe in the truth, they must believe in transparency with the truth, not selective truth. I don't know what Khumalo and his team told General Mkhwanazi, but all I can say now, I believe they must let General Mkhwanazi. They didn't tell him the whole truth. I believe they misled him, and he's also only seeing now that he has been misled. I'm going to end it here. I will speak with Jax. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to respond to official minister of the team state in the Senzo Niwa case. Bye, masterminds. Until later.